I'm here in Maine, where we're going to film a couple of episodes of Cruising New England. We're going to visit one of the finest car collections in America. You never know what you're going to find in the state of Maine, like this gorgeous 1966 Chrysler convertible.
Bob Bahre's collection of vintage and classic cars can be found in several garages, about 40 miles from Mount Washington. Once a year, this amazing collection is open to the public. But now, you don't have to wait. For 2 special episodes, we'll take you inside one of the most valued collections in America. Cruising New England opens the garage doors and takes some of these one-of-a-kind vehicles on the road with curator Jeff Orwick and the owner Bob Bahre.
Ranked in the top 10 nationally and going for number 1.
McMulkin Chevrolet is one of the largest dealers of new and pre-owned Corvettes in the country, with over 50 Corvettes, including the ZR1 in stock and ready for immediate delivery. In the pursuit of your sports car, make it the true American sports car, the Corvette. Or maybe it's the brand new 2010 Camaro. If it's new, pre-owned, or hard to find, McMulkin Chevrolet is your dealer.
Call today and experience why. McMulkin Chevrolet.
The Thompson Auto Group.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy, president of Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance. We've been in the business of insuring collector cars since 1947, and we've learned that what collectors need is agreed value coverage at incredibly low rates. So for a legendary service, superior coverage, all at a substantial savings, call Grundy Worldwide or visit us online.
Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web.
Cruising New England magazine. Plan your cruise and car show season. Subscribe today at cruisingNewEngland.com or call 508-428-8055.
Imperial Worldwide insulation vinyl siding, copper and seamless aluminum gutters, closet-made shelving systems, and zero-clearance fireplaces. We strive to make the building process easy and fun.
Garage Storage Cabinets of Northern New England offers premier services in custom storage, organizer, and flooring systems for residential and light commercial spaces, specializing in garages, basements, and workrooms. If you are a discriminating person who views your garage or workspace as an extension of your home, you will be absolutely delighted with our products and individualized services. We are a New England family-owned and operated business, so take the next step. To schedule your in-home consultation and pricing, call us today. We're in the hills of western Maine to see the Bahre collection. Bob Bahre is a businessman who became one of the most important supporters of auto racing in New England. He was the owner of the Oxford Plains Speedway from 1964 through 1986. That was followed by nearly 20 years of ownership of the New Hampshire Motor Speedway until 2007. His success made possible a 73 car collection that is one of the finest in the country.
How did you get involved in racing?
Actually, in Oxford, Maine, my wife and I came up in 1963. I had a midget race car. We came up to a race up there, and the race was on 4th of July. And then that winter, I came back with John McCarthy, who was the head of the Northeast Racing Association, to book another show. And they said they'd been losing their butt and they were going to get rid of it. So I leased it from them for a year with an option to buy it in the fall for $40,000. And that's what happened. We came up and we did very well with it. And then I put up new grandstands later, and that's where we got started right there.
Maintaining such a large collection is a full-time job. Jeff Orwick has been Bob's curator for 20 years. He knows the history of each and every vehicle. He keeps them running, and then he brings them to competitions. Like this 1934 Packard LeBaron Runabout Speedster, owned by movie star Clark Gable, only one of 4 known to exist.
They built 4 of these short wheelbase V-windshield LeBaron bodies, special LeBaron hood ornament here, and this one was customized when brand new for Clark Gable and the pontoon fenders end, and instead of having the running board, they have these very Art Deco teardrop step plates. It's just a 2-passenger vehicle, 12-cylinder engine, basically a toy. Again, the pontoon fenders are part of the design, a very radical boat tail, a rear-mounted spare, which they all did not have. Most people who could afford a toy like this could afford to have someone come help them out if they got a flat tire. And this is one of 4 LeBaron Speedsters built in 1934. All 4 of them exist, but this one's unique in that it was customized for Clark Gable when it was new. So it's an extraordinary car. 12-cylinder engine in the Runabout Speedsters is different than the other Packard 12s in that the heads are polished aluminum rather than painted green. So this is the typical 1934 Packard 12 power plant with the polished aluminum heads specific to the Runabout Speedster and the LeBaron Sport Coupe.
'When we return, a rare tucker and a one-of-a-kind vehicle known as the Car of the Dome.
Now what?
There's only one place to go, Modern Auto Body. We'll estimate the damage and assist with the insurance paperwork. Your vehicle's frame is laser checked to ensure exact alignment. Repairs are performed by ICAR and ASC certified technicians using OEM parts. A computerized system analyzes existing paint color and formulates an exact match. Modern's temperature-controlled bake booth then hardens the finish. Upon completion, your vehicle will be in perfect pre-accident condition.
Cruisin' New England Productions advertising and sponsorship opportunities. Cruisin' New England magazine has been updating auto enthusiasts with event information and special features for over 15 years. Cruisin' New England, the Fun Car Show series, includes the Elite Dream Machines at Mohegan Sun, the All Wheels Nationals on Cape Cod, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Cruisin' New England with Paul Manette on Nesson showcases magnificent collections of automobiles, memorabilia, collectibles, cruise night, and car show segments. For more information, call 508-428-8055.
Vintage Auto Sales, specializing in brass era and classic automobiles from 1910 through the 1940s. Totally and partially restored vehicles, vintage motorcycles, and parts. Check out our website.
Coker Tire Company offers vintage tires for collector vehicles from the late 1890s through the mid-1970s. Call today at 1-800-251-6336 or visit online at cokertire.com. BASF, the chemical company, leading supplier of automotive custom paint finishes, featuring 12 new custom colors created by Chip Foose exclusively through BASF. Distributor information at www.basfrefinish.com.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercity's drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website. We're back at the Bear Collection in Western Maine, one of the premier car collections in America. Jeff Orwig is the curator.
Jeff, you're the curator of the Bear Collection. It sounds like a big responsibility.
It is a fairly sometimes seeming overwhelming responsibility. What that really means is I've got 73 different vehicles in my care, currently in 3 different states, and I just look after their care and maintenance. Tucker used an opposed 6 helicopter engine to place in the back of the car, thinking that would be a new revolutionary feature for an American production car.
One of the most popular cars in the collection is the Tucker. Designed in 1948 to be the car of tomorrow, only 51 were ever made.
It has a unique feature where the door openings are cut up into the roof to allow easier access. He also had unique features involving the front and rear seats were interchangeable. The car is not resting on springs. It's a torsiolastic molded rubber units instead of springs, and it's a very unique setup, unlike any other car ever built. And the rear engine design was set up so that if there was an engine problem and you had to go to the Tucker dealer for repair, they would have spare engines in stock, and in a 45-minute appointment, they could remove your engine, give you a loaner, and send you on your way, and then you would come back for another appointment to have your engine installed back into the car. So a very unique concept.
It is said that the big 3 automakers were threatened by the car and brought down owner Preston Tucker and his new car before it could be mass-produced.
Do you think Tucker would have made it had he gotten some financial backing with this vehicle?
I think he certainly would have been a force to be reckoned with in that era. Whether he ever would have had the resources to keep up with the big 3, it's hard to tell. The others didn't.
The Packard Car of the Dome is a one-of-a-kind. Built for the 1933 World's Fair, it was given its name because it was displayed under a suspended dome.
And this is one of the most extraordinary Packards in the collection. This is the 1934 Packard 12 1108 sports sedan by Dietrich that was built especially for the World's Fair in 1934. It has a rear-mounted spare. It is the first long-hooded V-windshield Packard ever built. It has no side mounts, which allow this enormous length and perspective to be really, really distinctive. It's a gorgeous, richly elegant color brown. It's the original color when we restored the car, and it has to be one of the most perfectly proportioned 4-door sedans ever built in the United States.
Jeff, can you tell me a little bit about the history of this vehicle?
Well, it was built especially for the World's Fair by the Packard Motor Car Company, and all the automobile manufacturers made special vehicle presentations at the World's Fair, and that took place in the Travel and Transportation Dome. And before the World's Fair opened, a jury of artists went through all of the displays and chose what they thought was the best example of the advancement of each mode of transportation. And this particular car was chosen as the most extraordinary automobile featured at the World's Fair, was brought out of the Packard display and featured under this 8-story suspension dome. Wonderful Art Deco structure built for the World's Fair in '33. The interior was especially equipped for the car of the dome for the World's Fair, and all of the hardware on the interior, both front compartment and rear compartment, are gold. Everything is gold-plated, down to the needles and the gauges, the gas pedal, shift column, pedals, etc., etc. Elegant, classy 4-door sedans ever built, and that has a special place in my heart.
Many of these vehicles are brought to such events like the Concourse in Amelia Island, Florida, Pebble Beach in California, or Hershey, Pennsylvania, and events like these take a lot of preparation.
You want to go over the paint finish and make sure there are no blemishes, etc. You want everything to be clean. The windows, the chrome has to be polished. You open the doors, and you want the door edges to be clean. Interiors involve the interior finishes, vacuuming the carpets. It is an honor that's hard to describe to drive onto a show field at a major event like Pebble Beach or Amelia Island, and here you are driving it onto a show field. And then, of course, there is telling the story, which is what I really, really love to do, is to tell the story.
When we return, we'll find out how the Bear Collection helps the local library keep on running.
Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. Jim, I want to introduce you to Sylvia Scambato. She's the owner of this 1934 Ford three-window coupe.
Sylvia, what an awesome looking car. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's a 1934 three-window coupe with a 318-stroker Chevy motor. It's got 1940 Ford headlights, and the color is candy apple red over brickguard base.
What a great vehicle. On behalf of Town Fair Tire and Cruise New England magazine, I'd like to present you with the award and a gift certificate from Town Fair Tire.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Cruising New England is back with the Bahre collection. 73 classic and vintage cars, most of them housed here in South Paris, Maine. Bob Bahre didn't set out to create such a large collection.
When did you start getting an interest in classic automobiles?
Well, it's hard to say. I can't really remember it, but I remember I always liked them, and then I would buy one once in a great while. Probably that was before. That was when I still had the track. That was before I built the track in New Hampshire, way before. And if I heard of a car somewhere, I'd try to buy it. You see things and you like them, and you buy them when you can. You know what I mean?
Do you ever go searching for a particular vehicle?
No, I usually, if I hear of something, then I'll start looking, We've been lucky. We've got a lot of cars from the original owners or people that are not really original ones, but have had them for years and years. And we've been lucky that way.
Curator Jeff Orwick describes one of several racing cars in the collection, the 1961 Ewing Roadster.
So, Jeff, what do we have here?
This is our 1961 Ewing Indy Roadster. It raced at the Indianapolis 500 in 1960 through 63. Eddie Sachs drove it the first 3 years, and Chuck Hulse drove it the final year. Dean Van Lines was the sponsor of the car. It was the pole in 60 and 61, meaning the fastest qualifying car at Indy, setting a track record both years. And it was second place finish in 61 and a third place in 62, and the car has been fully restored to its 1961 configuration, being the pole.
Once a year, the Bahre collection is open to the public. Founders Day is held every July in the town of South Paris to benefit the local library and museum. Librarian Jennifer Lewis explains.
It used to be the county jail. It was built in 1822 and served as a jail for about 75 years. At that point, the county seat moved into downtown South Paris and they built a new jail. So Augustus Hamlin bought the building and donated it to the ladies of Paris Hill to maintain as a library and museum. And that's what it's been since 1901.
Bob Bare's home, right next to the library and museum, also has its place in history.
Hannibal Hamlin was vice president under Abraham Lincoln during his first term. He was born in the house that Bob Bahre now owns, and he's the most famous person that ever came from Paris Hill, so we're pretty proud of him and have a lot of exhibits in the museum featuring him. Bob Bahre is a wonderful asset to this community. He's done so much for our organization, other organizations on Paris Hill, and the community at large. He first opened his cars to exhibit in 1979. That was the first year of our Founders Day. And since then, we've had it for 31 years, and we estimate over 35,000 people have gone to see his car show, and all of that money has come to help the library and museum, which has been fantastic.
Well, it's kind of nice to do it for the area, and Jeff does all the work, so it's easy for me. And we take and open it up. They sell the tickets and handle the money. We don't. But Jeff puts some cars. We got cars downstairs here, too, and he puts them all outside. And it draws a lot of people, and it raises pretty good money for him.
Bob has collected much more than just vintage cars. His collection includes motorcycles, carriages, and even a rare doll collection.
We'll be right back with more of Cruisin' New England.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Barrett-Jackson Auction Company is the world's greatest collector car auctions. Please visit the website at barrett-jackson.com to learn more about bidding, consigning, or attending the event.
Eggy Machine Company provides vintage domestic engine components for the nostalgic automotive enthusiast. We manufacture our pistons in Southern California with old-school craftsmanship and modern technology. Visit eggy.com. Ron's Auto Restoration and Sales, professional Corvette restorers for 25 years, specializing in early and mid-year Corvettes with mechanical and cosmetic upgrades for all years right up to the new C6. Call us at 800-524-6195 for all your Corvette needs.
Find out more about Cruisin' New England Productions, our television show, car show series, and magazine. Visit our website at www.cruisingNewEngland.com. The Lars Anderson Auto Museum in Brookline, Massachusetts is the oldest car museum in New England. Open year-round, the museum hosts lawn events, lectures, and a variety of exhibits. Visit larsanderson.org.
The best mobile DJ entertainment for your next event. GaryJamesShow.com or 800-726-4216. Gary James Show from WMEX. Cruisin' New England Productions advertising and sponsorship opportunities. Cruisin' New England magazine has been updating auto enthusiasts with event information and special features for over 15 years. Cruisin' New England, the fun car show series, includes the Elite Dream Machines at Mohegan Sun, the All Wheels Nationals on Cape Cod, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Cruisin' New England with Paul Manette on Nesson showcases magnificent collections of automobiles, memorabilia, collectibles, cruise night, and car show segments. For more information, call 508-428-8055.
The Bear collection includes more than 70 vehicles and spans more than a century, like this 1914 Stutz Bearcat, the hot rod of its day.
So, Jeff, a 1914 Stutz. Explain what we have here.
It's the Stutz Bearcat, and the Stutz Bearcat was a company that made good in a day. They had one day at Indianapolis where they did extremely well at the Indy 500, and it just burst this company onto the radar screen to everybody. So it's just a little two-seater, what they called the Bearcat, with a round tank in the back, open cockpit seating, big steering wheel, and the monocle windshield. We've got the throttle control and the spark control, emergency brake, gear shift lever, starter button, exhaust cutout with the gas pedal in the middle, brake and clutch, enrichening valve for the carburetor, magneto switch, and headlight switch over there. Just an incredibly fun car. 4-cylinder T-head engine that has that real nice throaty sound that these early cars have. Very sporty car, very fun to drive. the stories that these cars tell about our society and our culture, be it good or bad, are truly fascinating. And when we have a high percentage of upper scale, high-end, capital C classics, it tells a very different story than cars you are more likely to see at your common car show. Some I know an awful lot about, some I know virtually nothing about, but I never give up looking.
So Jeff, here we have a 1910 Thomas Flyer. Now I understand that this company actually started off with pedal bicycles, then moved to motorcycles, and then to the automobile.
That's correct, and the Thomas Flyer was one of the highest quality, most reputable firms in the late pre-10 and early teens. A Thomas Flyer won the New York to Paris race in 1908, and thus the logo they have on the front of the radiator is a picture of the globe showing that pathway from New York City across the U.S., Bering Strait, Eurasia to Paris, France. So that was their claim to fame in this era. Unfortunately, they rested on that and didn't develop like a lot of the other cars did in the era. Again, we've got, this was a 1910 M640 touring car. Again, we've got the giant steering wheel, lots of wonderful brass, kind of an open seating, double bucket seat seating here. The brass windshield, a very powerful 6-cylinder engine that really would put most other cars of the era to shame in terms of power and prestige and ability to motor down the road. And as wonderful as this car is, this is actually the small Thomas of 1910. They made enormously large, way bigger cars than this particular car.
Now, all the cars in the collection need expert care, and that requires that they get out onto the road, especially when some of these vehicles are nearly 100 years old.
Should be enough. Now we do the oil once again, and we turn the switch to battery and magneto. Who thinks it might run? Interesting. Anybody want to give me a push? This car was the basis for Ian Fleming's children's book, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which became the movie and then ultimately the Broadway show. This is one of the original 3 Chitty Chitty Bang Bangs built by Count Louis Zabrowski in England in the 20s. This was the second of his 3 tries. And basically, the attempt was to make these mammoth cars powered by aircraft engines to go as fast as they could. And then he powered it with the 1914 Benz Aero 4 biplane engine. This would have been in a World War I fighting biplane. And it's a 18.8 liter, 1,152 cubic inch. Out of the 73 vehicles, I think I have 8 that are currently not turnkey. Other than that, every car has a fully charged battery and fresh fuel in it at all times. As with any automobile, if you own it, even your everyday car, it seems like every now and then there's something wrong with one of them, whether it's an exhaust issue or a fuel issue or whatever. You multiply that times 73 and add the age and the rarity and the complexity, and there's plenty to keep me busy here.
Oh yeah, we've had some we've looked for years. And I'll be honest with you right now, there's 1 or 2 right now that I've been looking for 15 years and can't get it.
And what is that?
I'm not going to tell you.
You're not going to, what, you're afraid I'm going to go out and buy it before you buy it?
Everybody else will know and watches this. No, there's a couple I wouldn't mind having, but if I can't get them, it's not the end of the world. They're nice cars. But